It was somewhere in between the last day of school and the first. Somewhere between morning and nightfall, somewhere between New York City and the very tip of Long Island, there was a 9-year-old girl standing somewhere between the shoreline and the sand dunes, scanning the horizon like a hawk, like an Amazon warrior, like a great cavalry captain, like Charlemagne on the morning before he took his final enemy, Jellyfish. There were jellyfish on my beach, in my ocean, and that silhouette of a soldier, that was me. I was the 9-year-old protector. I was the conqueror of the jellyfish. I was the vanquisher of the venomous, and I was armed with my plastic bucket and my legs, which were strong enough so that I could hold against the pull of the sinking tide and wait for one of those red and purple translucent throbbing bubbles of death to drift unsuspecting into the claws of my plastic trap, and my legs were fast enough so I could dart back up onto the beach where I would toss my captives mercilessly into the sandpit I had dug, never stopping for breath, only for a juice box in the cool shade of our green and white umbrella. I was a man on a mission, which is to say, girl with a bucket. But in the bright glare of late August, those two look an awful lot alike. That bucket was sword and shield. That hole was prison and redemption. There was no repentance. I had no guilt. I was risking life and limb to protect everything I knew to be sacred. And you have to understand, I really believed it was so. I lost count after 22. The movements became fluid, almost memorized, and as day began to sink and pink and orange began to creep their way into the crystal of afternoon sky, seeping like ink into the ocean around my ankles, I grew weary. Mom and Dad called from the beach, time to turn in my bucket, time to stop killing the enemy, time to start thinking about what I wanted for dinner. And that's when it hit. The one that got away, quick like lightning, blinding like gunfire, piercing like the point of a spear. I was hit and I was down. I was down hard and fast. It was a hit and run. That jellyfish was gone before I even had time to register pain. And that mark lasted all summer long, like a railroad track on the back of my hand, a battle scar to mark the war that I had fought. And somewhere in between then and now, irony slipped its way into my vocabulary. Laughter became an anecdote for guilt. Sacrifice grew to be a band-aid for shame, and unnecessary death became the nightmare that rode me piggyback. Somewhere in between then and now, I learned that every move you make echoes outwards from your body like ripples on the ocean from a skipping stone. It is what has taught me that karma is as tangible as the taste of seawater. Somebody somewhere has a scorecard so that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth really comes around to bite you in the ass. And what is it about immortality? With the right sword and shield, we think we can fend off anger, fear, and hatred. If our legs are fast enough, we think we can outrun age, loss, and death, though we can always truly live as master of all the jellyfish.